There everybody, it's me and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about what I'd love to see in TSW for the future, whether that's routes, modes, locos and such. I've got a few ideas I'm going to talk about in today's video, but for now, roll the intro. So let's start it off with modes. So I brought this up yesterday, talking about this, and basically what I'd like to see is a career mode of such. So you don't necessarily have to do this, kind of like how F1 does it. You can either play career mode or do the races just separately or whatever. So kind of have it so you have your timetable mode, and then obviously your scenarios, you have them separate from this. And this career mode kind of forces you to do like relevant training. So for example, we come into the training center, and if we go on to training modules, and for example we want to do the class 390, you come in, you have your introduction and whatever, and basically you have to learn how stop and procedures work, how to set it up and whatever. And you do that, and then you kind of have a test around the training centre, or you can have it on the West Coast Main Line, for example, kind of like for a scenario which was on West Coast Main Line South with Train Sim Classic, which was route learning between Birmingham New Street down to Euston, and it popped up with like information about certain parts of the routes. So leaving Birmingham New Street, it would talk about HS2 at Curzon Street and down at Euston as well. That's something that DTG Alex in the TSC community Discord actually agreed would be. It's a really popular feature and a popular idea. Obviously, it won't be something introduced in TSW5. All their main features being rolled out slowly and surely. Maybe it might be on the roadmap, but I expect this more for like a TSW6, or maybe if we go to 6 and then we go and we stay on 6 for a while, because obviously it's a year by year release, like how Train Sim Classic is. If they change that up, maybe we get an update in 2026 where it's still the same game. It's not, and we might not get a TSW6. It might change to TSW25, kind of that kind of thing. Like with the free starter pack becoming a thing, maybe it's just more a just general rebrand and it's 25 and not 6 or whatever. Maybe. But yeah, I really love this feature because obviously there's people that want it, and then you can have a career modes for obviously being a driver or being a guard or whatever. It'd be really cool, um, and it'd be something that personally I'd love to see. Um, the next thing I'd love to see is actually one thing I'd love to see it as well is being a dispatcher. Obviously, we see this on SCR on Roblox. That's a bit easier to implement. But the fact that they've brought in guard mode, maybe it's a possibility that they could do that. It might not be a highly requested thing, as mainly DTG go off of what's really requested when they look in to do their lamp test for routes, modes, and whatever. With obviously guard mode was a really highly wanted mode, which DTG you were meant to update the cross city line and it don't work, but we'll get on to that later. But yeah, so that obviously you can, for example, at Milton Keynes, you've got platform. It's an island platforms that you got obviously at certain stations. Euston's one of them. You can stand at the end of the signal. You get a radio message saying it's all clear for the driver to shut the doors, and you blow your whistle or you show the little black or white sign that they hold in their hands like they do in real life. And then, yeah, the, then the guard has to acknowledge that, and then basically then the train's good to go. I don't know how easy that would be to implement. Obviously, unless there's like a visible AI guard, it'd probably be a bit difficult, but it'd be nice to see. It's not necessarily what will happen, but it would be nice to have. Um, that's really it for modes slash features that I'd like to see. That it's there's obviously other things, but they're not kind of. I haven't really thought about them as much as being a dispatcher and being having that career mode. And when it comes to routes, which we're going to talk about next, and I have one big one that I'd love to see, and then I have a smaller one which would be nice as well. Obviously, it'd be if they do them, yeah. If they don't, no. But also, this was a suggestion which I put in yesterday, and Alex actually thought, love the suggestion, keep it up, and then he went on and checked the post I put on the forums, and that would be the Chiltern main line. This is the one I want most. It is the one which, the main line which gets overseen, because obviously you have the west coast, the east coast, and then you obviously have the southeast and then the southwest main lines. And obviously it runs from Birmingham Moore Street all the way down to Marylebone. And if they have the time to, they could do the full route, because when it comes to stations and whatever, there's around about the same stations on the full length of the Marylebone Moore Street run than there is on the West Coast main line that we've currently got. So Milton Keynes to London Euston, including the overground and underground stations. It would also bring new operators. Chiltern might be a bit easier to get. You'd see Class 68 with Mark III coaches, and then a Class 99 DVT. And then obviously you got the 165, the 166, 66, the 168s. That's mainly what Chiltern run on the services, but obviously then you can have cross country running between, for example, Leamington Spa and Oxford, and then you can have voyages in, which would actually tie in what quite a few people would like to see as a voyager. I'm kind of fingers crossed hoping that maybe we see a voyager for a loco pack for West Coast Mainline. The voyager also kind of ties in for the next route. But yeah, the whole route itself is just over 100 miles. But at the same time, you could do it in different time periods. You can do it pre-privatisation, or you can do it post. And you could even have Virgin cross country and not Arriva cross country, because obviously Arriva run both Chiltern and cross country, if I remember rightly. May be wrong. So licensing might be a bit easier to get both. Yeah, maybe. Obviously cross country are getting 800. Well, no, what was it? 80. I can't remember what 8 what is it? It's obviously not an 800 or an 801 or an 807, but obviously cross country are getting their own IETs, the Hitachis. It seems like to be the trend at the moment when it comes to the big intercity services. They're all getting Hitachi trains. I guess it's just easier to maintenance, I believe. And then my next route that I'd love to see is North Wales line. Obviously, we have Avanti in the game already, and we have a 801 in the game already. But obviously, the services which run there is either at the moment they're kind of a bit split between 805s and Voyagers. Um, but then that kind of ties in getting an official Avanti IET in, as well as a Voyager if they don't do the Chiltern mainline or they don't get both as a loco pack, which would be pretty cool to have both, if not either. Mainly the Voyager, because obviously we've got Class 801 already. We've got what we got. Is it the Dash 0 and the Dash 1? Let me just go back and check this. Boom. Is it 801 and 801 dash 1 and dash 2? Dash 1, dash 2. It's basically just different carriage lengths. Same with the Avanti with the dash 0 and dash 1. The 0 is 9 car and the 1 is 11 car. But yeah, it gives you that. You could have Transport for Wales on that route as well, because they're most likely going to be the operator for the Cardiff commuter route, unless it's pre-privatisation, and maybe it's not Transport for Wales. But yeah, it'd be a nice route. There's other routes as well which I've thought about, but isn't really popular from what I put up in the forums. So I'll tell you what there are. Liverpool Lime Street doing great. Not Liverpool Lime Street. London Liverpool Street up, and that Greater Anglia service that goes up to like Norwich and whatever. Just like a section of that so we can get Greater Anglia in and get 720s. That'd be nice. Extension is popular for West Coast Mainline. Obviously, I'd love to see that to Birmingham one day, but probably most likely Rugby or Coventry if they ever do an extension. And then obviously the Abbey line. We'll get on to why I'd love to see that. The Sheerness branch on the Southeastern High Speed, love to see that, and maybe an extension to Cannon Street. That would be nice. Or London Bridge. That'd also be nice. But apart from that, there's not really much else I'd love to see, apart from maybe an extension somewhere on the Midland Main Line. Obviously, that's not a DTG route. But yeah, that's it for routes. Locos, I have. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Class it as 4 because they're basically the same. So the S7 and S8. There's going to be underground sections with the GWE remaster using the 484. There are obviously Circle and Hammersmith and City sections on that route that's coming out, Liam said. So the S7 would be perfect for that, because they run both Hammersmith and City and Circle, especially in that time period. They didn't use the 484s, I guess, because obviously they haven't really thought about, or maybe haven't got a license to do it, and to do another London Underground route. Obviously, it's a bit easier with the West Coast Main Line. It's already the Bakerloo line, and they didn't really need to do much. They just obviously upgraded it. But yeah, I'd love to see the S7 and S8 stock. It's obviously, as now that's in service, the newest stock on the tube. Until the 24 stock comes on the district line. My mind went blank then for a second. So yeah, obviously it's the newest trains on there. The 730. There's two reasons for this. LNWR on West Midlands, ran by the same people. Firstly, for the Cross City line, you'd obviously get a new timetable. Whether that includes when they were phasing in slowly and you still had 323s, That would probably be the nicest one they could do. And then obviously at that point they can add in AI layers for 390, 350, maybe a 158 if it is a 158 TFW train that comes with Cardiff commuter. It might be on 197, which is obviously also what WMR uses on the Nuneaton Leamington line. But yeah, 730 would be nice. And even if they don't get the LNWR licenses, um, at first they were using the 730s from West Midlands on the West Coast Main Line, whilst they were getting the LNWR ones in, so in theory, could work. And then obviously the Voyager and the 805, previously stated, can use on the West Coast Main Line, we get North Wales Line on that, and then obviously the Voyager on the Chiltern Main Line. There's that. And then last but not least is the 319. You can use that on the West Coast Main Line. Liam said he'd do it if DCG let him do the extension Abbey Line branch. And then obviously they used to run on, what is it, the Northampton, some Northampton services, and then obviously on the Abbey Line. But yeah, apart from that, I really just focus on UK stuff, so I don't have any ideas for American and other countries. So yeah, if you guys want to see any features, any routes, any logos, whatever, put them down below, or put them in the forums and just put the forum post down below. And yeah, that's going to be it. Just a short little one for what I want to see in the future. Fingers crossed that some of that stuff happens, but yeah, for now, I'll see you all in the next one. If you haven't done already, hit the like, hit the sub, and share this video. Peace.